one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. And now for the Texas flags. Honor the Texas flags. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one nation, under God, one indivisible.
And we would like to welcome all of our guests here tonight. Rosie, did we have anybody sign up? No, okay. We'll go to item number 5, presentation of campus reports and recognitions. And so first we're going to do our students of the month. So our first student of the month is Amelia Grace Salas. Is a bright and enthusiastic first grader. Amelia is the daughter of Jennifer and Richard Salas and loves reading because, as she says, Mrs. Fira makes it so fun. When she grows up, Amelia dreams of becoming a nurse so she can help take care of people. Good job. Thank you. And thank you for doing the pledge. Is Saber here? No? Our next one is Saber Whitworth, has grown significantly since second grade. Now in fifth grade, his maturity is truly impressive. He's always ready with a smile, a hug, or a word of encouragement, and he consistently exemplifies the qualities of a bulldog. Is Saber here?
No, he is
No.
not.
Okay. I'll give this to you so you can give it to him.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Now for middle school and high school. Student of the month for the middle school is Kyla Pritchett. Kyla is very involved in VMS. She is a head cheerleader, a 3-sport athlete, and is taking 3 high school credit classes as an 8th grader. She is an outstanding student who consistently goes above and beyond for those around her. She is kind, thoughtful, and always willing to lend a hand to both her peers and teachers. Her positive attitude and dedication truly embody the bulldog spirit. Kyla. Let's just hold together.
Under the seal for me. There we go. Alrighty.
Congratulations. And for the high school, Rafael Medina Alvarez. Could not make it, but we are going to acknowledge him. Rafael has shown leadership and maturity among the other freshmen. He is consistently a good example for other students in participation and behavior, but is also a quiet encourager for his classmates, especially the athletes, and reminds them of the expected behavior. VHS appreciates his effort and willingness to stand out for these reasons. Rafael Medina Alvarez.
Thanks for the direction, sir. Thank you for that.
Okay. I have the honor of doing staff member of the month for the middle school. Nancy Salcedo works hard every day. This year, we had some unique needs on our campus, and she has stepped up, taken on extra responsibilities with students to make it work. She continues to be an advocate for students and their needs. She's an asset to our SPED department. Nancy Salcedo.
Okay, still. I taught your kid. It's been a long time.
This is Tracy Parker. She is truly valuable member to our team. She's always helpful and goes out of her way to make sure her colleagues and students have what they need. She approaches every day with a positive attitude and smile, which is why her students love her so much. She is a great example of a bulldog. She is at the elementary. Oh, here.
So we can start with our campus reports now.
All right, good evening. And for the primary school, we are at 381 for our enrollment, so we are slowly going up. And then we've had a great start of the school year with Meet the Teacher event. Probably the biggest crowd I've seen in 5 years. It was fantastic. I think 90% of our classes had 100% attendance. So it was wonderful to see all the families in the building. And then for our Teacher of the Month, we nominated Miss Shelby Caldwell. We were fortunate to get Miss Caldwell last year as a SPED para. She was a certified teacher. She transitioned to us from Fort Worth. She is fantastic. Out of all our kindergarten teachers, she is rocking the classroom management, the hallway management, and so it's just been fantastic to see her become that leader on that hallway. And then for Staff Member of the Month is Miss Betty Lopez, our bilingual paraprofessional. Betty goes above and beyond for all the students, and even more so the students in the bilingual classes, and supports those teachers. Those teachers are a little larger this year, or those class sizes are, and so we're really just appreciative of everything that she has done for us this year. Other than that, that's all we have. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, there you go. For the elementary, I feel like I just gave a report, so I didn't have a lot to put up there, but a lot has happened since then. So we welcome back our staff with some games and breakfast, and we had a beautiful opening. We had so many parents, and just like the primary, we had nearly 100% in every single class. So that was exciting. Our enrollment now, that's a little behind. Our enrollment now is up to 633. So we are daily adding students. So I think this might have been the one from the time before. Anyway, I'm going to ride this I'm new thing until we get through the whole thing. We have done Teacher of the Year. Since then, we've had the banquet for Teacher of the Year, and which was very exciting for us and for Miss Tama Garrett that went with us to do that. And we are looking forward to starting inviting our parents on our campus to have lunch and get started with some new Meet the Principal activities and things like that. Okay?
All right. At the middle school, we have had lots of things going on. Before school started, we met with our learning leaders and did some training with Dr. Richardson. Better data, I can't say it, better data meetings. And so we're excited to roll that out with our staff. We too had a 6th grade orientation. They came up and walked their schedules. We had over 300 parents or 300 visitors that day. So that was a huge number for us. Our enrollment is currently at 515. We dropped to 514 and then a new one came this afternoon. So we're back to 515. Our Teacher of the Month was Coach Amanda Weaver. And so she has done an outstanding job this year and stepped into some leadership roles for us where we needed that. And that is, well, one more thing. We have, the middle school has applied for the National Schools to Watch through TASSP. So we were asked to do that. So we're in the process of that. No guarantees on anything like that, but we have done the teacher survey, and we are in the writing portion of that right now, so more to come about that. So, any questions? Thank you.
Good evening. We're going to start with the enrollment, and that is a tad bit behind as well. As of this evening, we're at 658, and it seems like every time I pass the office, we have one coming back or someone coming in. So I don't know. We're getting there. About 40 students shy from last year. Fish camp we held on July the 21st. Freshmen attended breakout sessions where they learned about class credits, freshman activities, their dues, school clubs that they could participate in, CCMR and PTEC, and we covered dress code and the phone policy. We have 3 new teachers, which means we are hired up with certified teachers. We have Miss Hennard on the far left, and she is married to Mr. Hennard, who also teaches in the science department. So it was a blessing to get her with a master's degree in that science spot. We have Ms. Joyner in the middle. She was a para for us last year in SPED. She graduated. She is now in life skills. I used to joke with her, tell her that when she graduated, I have a dotted line for her to sign on. She did, and that has worked out great for us. So she was also Teacher of the Month. From day one, she had those kids in groups, and she was teaching at those different levels. So it's nice to see that enthusiasm come back into teaching. The gentleman on the far right is Mr. Scott. He replaced engineering, Dr. Morgan, and he is also on the football team, and he knows a little about throwing a football. So if you see the football team, you'll notice they have a more of a passing game than we have in the years past. We also had senior sunrise. It was delayed by one day because of the rain, but they all showed up in their pajamas, and I think you've seen pictures on Facebook where they kicked off their senior season right. And then we have the senior parking lots. I can't say enough about the parents that showed up as well to help them draw their senior parking lots, and they're very creative, and yeah, they tell a story. So that was good to see as well. We just went through Meet the Bulldog night. I was happy with the community turnout, and I'm very pleased with the attitude on the football field. I mean, when you have conversations with them as a group, when you have conversations with our boys one-on-one, just their whole way of thinking is just refreshing. So that's exciting to see as well. Next Monday, the 25th, we have open house where we'll visit with parents shortly, and then they will follow their student schedule, and the teacher will go through the course syllabus and tell them what to expect and when to expect it, and then give them the grading policy, and that way each teacher can meet the teacher, know what's taught in that class, and how they're graded. Okay, so things, as we know, high school are starting to get busy. Thank you.
We'll go to item number 6, informational update regarding special education camera procedures.
Yes, good evening, Board. You have a paper copy of the operating procedures for cameras in the classroom. These are required to be handed out to our parents of students in the self-contained classrooms where we have video surveillance. I shouldn't really call it surveillance because it's really, we don't look at the videos unless there is a reported incident. But I'm happy to say, thanks to our technology department, we have every self-contained classroom in the district covered by cameras, and that would be 5 classrooms. That would be 2 at the primary campus and 1 at each other campus of all the other campuses. The operating procedures, like I say, are required to be handed to the parents of those children in those classrooms. So we have letters to go out tomorrow that explains the procedures, and also
just letting them know that they have 5 days notice, and then on the 6th day we'll start rolling those cameras. We do have audio. When we have bathrooms attached to those classrooms, we're required to have audio in those bathrooms. Of course, no video surveillance in those rooms, but this information will be retained for over 3 months, which is required by law. So the technology department is going to do a check on to ensure, how much storage is being required, and just making sure we stay in compliance with the 3 months retention. So there really is no need for anyone to request one, because all of the self-contained classrooms are covered. Currently, we do not have any self-contained behavior classrooms. In the event that that were to be the case, then those we would consider putting cameras in those classrooms. But they're used for social skills, and the students who use those classrooms are not considered self-contained. So if there's any questions about why there are no cameras in the behavior classroom, it's for that very reason. It doesn't meet the definition of self-contained. But it just talks about the processes. If there is ever an incident, or someone believes there to be an incident, then there is a form for them to fill out. It's on the very back of the operating procedures. These are given to each campus administrator. So with the new law that's come out for the 24-hour reporting for a CPS report, we went ahead and included 24 hours, although the old procedures had 48. So we're up to date with the new CPS requirements. So we want this information recorded as quickly as possible, and we will respond as quickly as possible. If we do find there is an incident that meets that requirement, of course, we're required to report that to the proper authorities. So these are the procedures. I've been told to be very brief about them. So if you have any questions, I'll put these on a letterhead, and we'll get those letters out to the parents tomorrow. Does anybody have any questions about the procedures? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We've got item number 7, operations update. Mr. Gatewood?
Yes, ma'am. This is regarding the student handbook. What we did something different this year. The principals did collaborate on those handbooks by themselves. I want to let you guys know that the handbook is for information. The school board approves the student code of conduct, but in the event there's a discrepancy, the student code of conduct is the one that rules over the student handbook. I'm going to invite the principals up to talk about that handbook there just a little bit. Come on up.
So, but for Mr. Camacho and myself, it's a secondary handbook, and so we had a Google document, and well, it's a one handbook, but it has secondary stuff in it too. So we had a Google document, and we worked on it, and we sent it to them, and they made changes, and we made changes, and here is the document. Any questions?
And then,
Oh, your turn.
sorry. And then primary and elementary, same thing, we collaborated. Actually, all 4 campuses met one afternoon for about 4 hours. So Ms. Whitworth and I collaborated, and so we share one handbook. There you go.
Did anybody have any questions on the handbooks? Any questions? No? Randall, did you have a question?
No, Ms. Gore.
Okay.
The handbook along to Mr. Gatewood.
Okay. Thank y'all. We will now go to item 8, executive session at 6:20 p.m. for 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.076, 551.082, and 551.0821. Go to item number 9, reconvene from executive session at 7:10 PM. We'll go to item number 10, consent agenda. Did anybody have any questions on the consent agenda or need to pull anything out of it?
I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion by Greg. Do we have a second? I'll second. A second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion carries. I couldn't get it to turn. Go to item number 11, consider approval of contract with Field Solutions. Mr. Gober. Coach Gober. Oh,
All right. Field Solutions, that's who does our baseball and softball fields. They take care of most of that. There's not really other companies that do this line of work other than your local landscapers. There's not a big one who provides this specific service. The choices we basically have on it are a 2-year or 3-year agreement. It's the same exact price. My suggestion is to do the 2-year agreement to if down the line we wanted turf, we want to do something different, we have that availability at that time. The total amount is $272,474 that's the 3-year. The 2-year is $91,824 off of that. It's basically $7,800 a month for that time. If you've looked in the past month, it hasn't been up to standard. The guy who's done ours the last 2 years just resigned. So they're in the process of hiring another guy to take care of ours, but it'll be the same service that they've used the last 3 to 4 years. The contract has just run up.
did anybody have any questions?
If we sat down and, like with Field Solutions and kind of look back at the contract and kind of, I know Mr. Russell has just mentioned, every 2 years it's supposed to be scraped and reskinned.
Yes, and that's in there. He did. His name's Phil. He came into the office and we sat down, went over every part of it because I was like, I don't have a clue about any of this. So he really went over all of it.
What was their response to the fact that every 2 years they're not doing what they said they were doing?
They've done it every 2 years. Is what they've said. I mean, that's where 2 years is up next year, is what they're saying is the last time they've done it. They only do the infield. To do the outfield is more, but what our contract has been the 3 years of before was only the infields.
The skinning of it every 2 years.
Yes.
The herbicide and all that is the whole field.
Yes, correct.
At some point, over the last year, and a little bit longer than a year, that the softball field has really gone down. And so I don't know if that was more, but I just didn't know if it may be time to have a sit down with them and not renegotiate, but reread the contract, say, hey, let's go ahead and set a date for the skinning.
That's what we had. The next step was to set up a date once the contract.
On the baseball field, those are things that wear off after 2 years.
And it'll also be a new guy working on it, so we'll have new communication to go over as well when we start that. It really is just not. So we're looking for quotes of different companies and different things. There's not another company that does the exact same thing they do.
And then, Mr. Graywood, who would be who is the person who's in charge of that, overseeing that? So like the last year and a half, someone should have noticed that. Who is that person in that district that is kind of have the responsibility to review that and knows when they see a problem?
That would be, that was Coach Fordell, sir. He was the outgoing athletic director.
Would be the athletic director?
Yes, sir.
So,
I would think that the individual coaches, the softball coach and the baseball coach, would have firsthand information. And if they see a problem, then that should be reported to the athletic director right then.
And they do a good job of that.
I completely agree.
Coach Williams is on top of it. I mean, as soon as there's a weed, with Coach Williams.
So, with the baseball field, there's a bunch of cracks out in outfield. Is this gonna fix that, or do they have to?
Fix, probably not. Help and make doable the best of the ability, yes. It got really, really dry over the summer when the water was out, so they're getting that back up to speed. It looks better than it did 6 weeks ago. They've done some sand and put some stuff out there to try to fill those cracks. It won't be a solution, but it will help. It'll just take, they'll have to do it over and over.
So the water being out was our fault?
When we had to do the pipes and everything at the high school and shut off the water, we couldn't water that field during that time.
They are in charge of the water.
Yeah, I know the irrigation was
Yes.
part of that whole, that was the reason to put a sprinkler system in, and I knew irrigation was a big part of it, so when you said no water there.
No, it wasn't their doing on that.
Is this in our budget?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we budget for 2 or 3?
We have an annual contract that's in there, and we had a special line item for this contract.
Anybody else have any other questions?
Motion.
No.
And this is what you recommend?
I recommend the 2-year agreement with them.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we reapprove the contract for 2 years with Field Solutions.
I'll second.
Motion by Randall, second by Amber. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go to item number 12, consider approval of certification of provision of instructional materials revision.
Hello, everyone. So this came to my attention that we needed to resubmit this because I had put in our original survey back in April that we were going to do grade 5 Bluebonnet mathematics, and after many discussions with campus leadership, we decided not to do that. But because we had marked it, the service center got basically a flag that said we were going to order Bluebonnet, and so they emailed me and said, you haven't ordered Bluebonnet yet, you need to do that. And I said, we're not going to use Bluebonnet anymore. And they're like, oh, you have to resubmit your provision of instructional materials because you had said you were going to use Bluebonnet. So that's what brought this to my attention. And then there are a few things that it's probably a good thing that it did come to my attention. There were just a few things that I needed to correct on there. Rosie, if you could go back to just the agenda page, that'll show the quick summary of the corrections. Yes, thank you. So we had talked about removing Lexia from grades K through 5 and only using Amplify Boost. And so that needed to be corrected in this form. And then also using Boost Lectura for K2 Spanish. So I was able to correct that. And then also indicate that we're using M-Class Lectura, which I had missed somehow in the original form. And so those Amplify corrections are also updated. And then also adding back Lexia into middle school. Again, I'm not sure why. I must have been not sleeping that night, but we never intended to remove Lexia, so that's definitely in there now. And then the item that I mentioned that what's brought this whole thing up was removing the Bluebonnet learning from grade 5 math. And then I also just made a correction to the assessment platforms that we plan to use, that we're using M-Class for multiple reasons, including interim assessments for the lower grades, and we're not using TFAR for interim assessments. So those are the corrections that needed to be made in this form. And because we do have to resubmit it, it does need your approval.
So did we approve Bluebonnet for 5th grade math?
No, we had planned to use it as a pilot. The thought process was that we would have one teacher use Bluebonnet to compare to what our curriculum, which is STEM Scopes. And so after discussing that with the principals through our math instructional leadership team, we decided that was not going to happen. So the intent was not to replace STEM Scopes this year with Bluebonnet. It was going to be just that one classroom.
So our curriculum for math is STEM Scopes.
Correct, for
So
kindergarten through 8th grade.
every teacher is using STEM Scopes to fidelity in their rooms.
Every teacher, yes, the expectation is that in their PLC collaborative planning times that when they're looking at their unit, that they start with the STEM Scopes curriculum. And we're working through systems to help them do that more diligently with more fidelity to make sure we're using all of the resources available in the materials before the team jumps to something else.
So we presented HQIM to parents as STEM Scopes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So are teachers using other resources other than STEM scopes
It's
that
possible.
we haven't made available to the parents?
It's possible that a team may decide for a given unit that they need to supplement with something else. But the expectation was set very clearly that that has to be done through the collaborative team planning process, which should include the principal's involvement, and that we should not have teachers just picking stuff on their own to replace the STEM scopes.
And that's beyond the
Yes.
parent reporting for HQIM is that's after I was. So is that, if we choose to go a different direction for a unit, do we have to report that as an HQIM to the parents?
I don't believe so. We do have to make available the primary materials, which is the STEM
The
scopes.
curriculum.
Right.
All right. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? No, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the clarification of the provisions of instructional material.
Okay, motion by Amber, do we have a second? Second by Greg, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 13, consider approval of resolution of the board to set Venus ISD tax rate. Ms. Page?
Good evening. So tonight we have up for consideration to approve the tax rate for Venus ISD at 50 cents for the INS, which is exactly what we told the taxpayers in the bond, and then 0.7484 for the M&O, which is down just 0.0005, for a total tax rate of 1.284. 1.2484, yeah.
Is that a reduction from last year?
No, because the INS tax rate went from 43 cents to 50. Taking that out, it would be a reduction. The M&O is a reduction, barely, but it is a reduction.
Any other questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution of the board to set the Venus ISD tax rate.
Motion by Amber, do we have a second?
Wait, do we need to read that exact phrase on the thing? Yes, that's what I thought. Read the exact phrase.
Where?
I got it.
1.2484.
Okay, there you go. Right here.
Oh.
No, it needs to be read exactly.
Oh, she's following it.
You need to make it, Amber?
Huh?
You need to make
Yeah,
it?
go ahead.
Is it all right if we retract our motion and restate one, Ms. Gordon?
Yes, go ahead.
I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of 1.2484.
Okay, we have a motion by Randall. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Amber. All in,
Keep us in
thank you. All in favor? Motion carries.
The one time I don't have my paper.
Item number 14, consider approval of proposed tax rate for Hill College Venus ISD.
Yes, so this is just the proposed tax rate for Hill College, and it will be at 0.042502, which is exactly the same as it was last year.
Do we have any questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the tax rate for Hill College.
Motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Donald. All in favor? The motion carries. Item 15, consider approval of TASB insurance renewal. I know.
So we've got the TASB insurance renewal. You'll notice that this TASB insurance renewal is prorated. So it's going to go from September 1st of 25 through June 30th of 26. Rosie, it's down a couple. Yeah, there you go. That's so that it will line up then with our fiscal year starting next year. So it is a prorated amount. I did shop around, and I have one letter in there from McGill, and everybody I talked to said that while this looks like exorbitant amount of money, nobody could touch what TASB is providing us with the insurance and the cost.
One quick question, are we still arguing over past, insurance claims?
We are. I almost anticipated that TASB would not even give me a renewal this year, but they did. And actually, they were on site today. TASB was, our attorney was, and a forensics company to look at those roofs, and they'll be here all Monday through Thursday of this week. To TASB's allowing them to look at it again to see if they'll do something. You're welcome.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the TASB insurance.
Motion by Amber, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe, all in favor? Did he raise his hand? All in favor?
Oh,
No?
okay.
Okay, opposed? Okay, the motion carries 6-1. Go to item number 16. Consider approval of TASB Energy Cooperative.
Yes, so this is a new cooperative for Venus. This would allow us, if the price warrants it, that we could buy fuel through TASB. So we wouldn't have to buy all of our fuel through TASB, but it is another avenue for us that maybe if we got a good price through them, we could buy some. So when the price spikes during the year, we would have that in our back pocket. So it's just another option of trying to save money where we can save money.
Who monitors that? I mean, who sits back and looks at the fuel and goes, hey, it's time for a, we just check when the tanks are empty? And
We
we're
check
buying-
with the tanks are empty.
And we just automatically get on TASB like you'd check Exxon or somewhere else?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so we would commit to so many gallons at the TASB rate, but then we would have all year to use them. So we would use them when it was appropriate. So I would work with Ms. Tubbs on that.
Any other questions?
Are they only fuel?
Yes,
No electricity or anything like that yet?
not yet.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the TASB Energy Cooperative, joining the TASB Energy Cooperative.
Motion by
second.
Randall, second by Amber. All in favor? Motion carries. Item 17, discussion of possible action regarding homeschooled students participating in extracurricular activities in accordance with SB 401.
All right, so this is a change in years past with UIL and homeschool student participation. In the past, y'all would have had to make a vote to allow homeschool students to participate. This year, all homeschool students are allowed to participate without a board vote to not allow them. It does get kind of tricky on different things, so if we don't make a vote and we're okay with that, anyone that lives in Venus's attendance boundary is eligible to play at Venus. They still have to go through the same process as a move-in. They have to fill out the UIL PAPF. They have to prove it wasn't for athletic purposes. It also allows for students in other districts. So, for instance, if a district neighboring us takes action and doesn't allow them, they could come play here. Again, they would have to fill out paperwork just like any kid, and it would be proven to everyone in our district would have to sign off that they were not moving for athletic purposes. That's just the difference this year is you're voting to not allow versus to allow.
So if Alvarado decides not to accept, they vote to ban those. If the next closest school zone is ours, wouldn't that by definition mean they're moving for athletic purposes?
It gets.
I'm just good at the PAPF.
No.
I just didn't know if that's
No, you would fill it out, and so that kid would have to attempt to play there first.
Right.
They realize that board policy says no. They are allowed to go to the closest, and it's not school district. It's different than most things. It's geographical location from their house to the high school. So they may be geographically closer to Venus ISD, but they may be geographically closer to Maypearl High School. They would go to Maypearl High School is where they're eligible.
Are they eligible? Is it a calendar year? Do they follow the same rules as a transfer student? Like
Same
so
exact rules.
if they move in as an 8th grader, or as a 9th grader, they play JV for a year.
They don't necessarily have to. You'd fill out the PAPF just like anyone. If the whole DEC approves them, they're allowed to play varsity. If they don't approve them, they have to play on the JV for 365 days.
This is for all UIL events, not just athletic sports?
I believe so. I know the athletic sides, but I believe it is all UIL events.
That's my understanding.
Yes.
And I have read that Midlothian has opted out. Not sure of that, but that's what
Most
I've read.
bigger districts are going to opt out. Like when we went to coaching school last month, I sat in meeting after meeting on this topic, and most bigger schools are going to opt out because of their numbers of participation. They're maxed out. There's already 50 kids who aren't making the basketball team there because they have enough kids trying out. So those schools aren't taking them. Schools like us, where we're not cutting kids because we have enough spots for them to make another team even, is a lot more beneficial for those kids. It's not impacting, it's not hurting the kids we have, but it could benefit the kids we have and help those kids.
But it could hurt the kids that we have if somebody from Midlothian transferred in and they were obviously better and they were selected to play. And one of our hometown kids was not the quarterback anymore, but somebody from Midlothian was the chosen quarterback based on athletic ability.
It could be, yes, and there's
it would
cases
hurt
where
them.
that could be, but it could also help the team be
It would,
more
yeah.
competitive. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a catch to all of it, but yes.
So, assuming Venus allows these transfers to come in, have we sat down and looked at eligibility packets? My son has to follow all the eligibility requirements, 6 weeks grading reports, et cetera, as opposed to my mama's the teacher and I'm a great quarterback, therefore my odds of not making a 70 are pretty slim.
Yes.
So
the grading policy, I mean, is going to go off.
So
of
they
the
have
school.
they're gonna have to report grades and everything. Who
Yes.
are they gonna report that to? Is that to
They'll
you?
have to report it to me and the coach of that sport, and then we'll have to document it just like we would a kid.
So are you
in our class.
documenting a certified curriculum does it have to be a state curriculum? Is it, I mean, just,
They
I know
have
these
it.
are funky questions.
It
but-
is, and that's something that.
So does it have to be
in-
accredited curriculum? Does it have to be,
It can be anything.
K through 12 would be accredited though? I mean, does it have to be an accredited curriculum? And, I mean, just those are things that, I would be upset that my son got benched because this guy walks
he's
in
not
here.
even doing school.
But on the same token he's currently enrolled in a state approved or state accredited curriculum. He does the same work you do, for instance. He has to follow the same rules as in,
Yes.
no pass, no play. He has to,
Yes, I
naturally,
mean,
the
it's a no
attendance rule
pass, no
would
play.
apply.
I do know that.
Mhm.
I don't know on the accredited or not. That was never brought up.
I just didn't know if
which
we're
is
prepared
accurate.
as an athletic department or one act play for that matter. If it's in a UIL, it could be UIL academics. They can come in here and they can participate in the math pentathlon or whatever it is. So is the district prepared with paperwork to show that all that has been, is on the up and up and that they've,
Yes, I think it would be the same thing. They'll have to document that to us. We'll have to have all that information going in, of their grades, of their address, of their all that stuff. Just like any kid we have those files with us when we travel. We'll have those for that kid as well. Joe, on your point of that as well. So if we don't take action and we accept it, you have to accept anyone that lives in Venus ISD as a homeschool. We do not have to accept neighboring schools. That can be a case-by-case scenario. You do not have to accept those every time.
But depending upon the number of applicants, following up on what you said, Randall, I don't think there's any way possible that Mr. Gober or the staff can adequately check that. It's what the curriculum that particular child was following, as opposed to what their curriculum that they're following as in attendance at Venus School.
yeah, I just didn't know if the bill stated any of that. If the bill stated it, if it's just, I choose to leave my kid at home and I'm gonna homeschool on my own. And my definition of homeschool is we're gonna lift weights in the morning, we're gonna throw football quarterback drills most of the afternoon, and then they need to go to football practice. And
No, I think where what they're trying to do with that is the PAPF that they have to fill out, it has a couple different questions than your normal one. So if a kid were attending a school that says no to homeschooling, but they want to go to this other school, they can't just go start homeschool tomorrow. That's going to be show up on that PAPF, and people are going to question, that might have been for athletic purposes. So they're still going to have to prove information that it's legit. I think it's more the kids that have been homeschooled that it's going to be. I mean, you'll get your outliers, but that'll be the majority.
We got beat in the basketball playoffs a number of years ago by a town that made good use of their homeschool
Yeah.
kids.
Mr. Gatewood, do you have any experience with this?
Yes, ma'am, I do have experience with this here. Over in Red Oak, we did do this here to bolster our track numbers and our JRTC numbers. The students still had to fall under the student code of conduct and do the drug testing, had to pass their classes. And one of the things that I would recommend putting in place is that the student must attend the practices that the coaches are having, because what you have, like for instance here with track, I ran into a lot of people that have their personal track coaches and thought they would just show up as an athlete at our meets. But you have to put certain stipulations in there. You're gonna meet the attendance. You're gonna have to pass whatever curriculum that you're under. You're gonna submit the drug testing that we have. You fall under our student code of conduct when you're an athlete attached to our teams. You have to put all those things in place for those students.
Mr. Gatewood, is there, when it comes to the no pass, no play with the homeschool, is there an avenue of verification for their grades? Like, I mean, how do we not know that just the parent's not going, yes, he's doing all the work, and they're sitting at home doing that so he can be out lifting weights or, throwing the football?
Now, most high school students, you're going to find them use K-12 or some online type format. I never encountered a situation where it was mom at home just trying to teach high school by herself. It was always an accredited online situation that the students had to turn their paperwork into. And the bill doesn't mention that though, but that's normally what you would see, because it's kind of hard to homeschool a high school student on your own. That's really difficult, because I think I'm pretty good at science, biology, but I'm no good at teaching chemistry. That's going to be very difficult for me.
And most of those kids, if they're trying to do it for athletic purposes only, they're gonna be in an accredited deal. Otherwise, they're not going to college. If their whole goal is athletics and they're trying to get a scholarship out of it or whatever, it doesn't really matter if they can play or not if they're not in an accredited homeschool.
Okay,
We don't need to make any type of motion or anything.
No, ma'am.
this may be a question for Ms. Page. What financial implications does this have?
Actually, I know the answer to that. Yes, sir. Like say if Howard Gatewood shows up to your district and I play every sport that I play, the district receives $1,500.
For each sport?
Each sport.
And we would only pay their $10 meal fee is really our only added cost.
Good question.
And then I had one question too. Just ignorance is most of my question. What about like insurance, injuries and that sort? I mean, are they just covered like the rest of the team? Or is there a school liability to this, or? I don't know.
They would sign the same paperwork that our student athletes do, where we have the secondary insurance as an option. They would be allowed to have that same amount. It's not a primary insurance. It's not something that covers everything, but it is a secondary backup option, because they would still have access to our athletic trainer and those things that he allows them to do and helps them do as well.
And legally, they've applied to the PAPF, so they have the documentation their parents requested they be allowed to play. So we're, like, indemnity-wise, we're covered as far as being responsible for their injury or something like that.
Any other questions? Okay. I'm not sure what we do here. We either do nothing.
The only motion we would make is if we voted to block it.
Right.
We don't make a motion, then they go to our deal. If we choose to block it, we have to make a motion to
And this
block
is
it.
what, I
Okay.
just have a question, is this what y'all are recommending, that we don't block it?
Yes, I would recommend that we allow the students to play.
Yes, I would second what Coach Goldberg saying. I do think we should allow students to play that live within Venus ISD because what happens, a lot of students are homeschooled through no choice of their own here in the city. We have students that have played with students all throughout Little League, and all of a sudden they're homeschooled, and they just don't have the opportunity to play whatever sport with their peers in a UIL sporting event. I think it's just good for the school community.
I have an odd question. Just student goes to high school at VHS. He's been here since February. He gets in major disciplinary trouble here. He leaves VHS and goes homeschool to avoid his disciplinary placement. He's been placed in DAP for X number of days, and so he withdraws from VHS, goes homeschool. Now is he allowed to come back and play the baseball season or the whatever season since he's no longer?
Not for us. We would still withhold whatever disciplinary action.
So we still have that. We still have the ability to say if a student comes in and does something wrong on the field court, we have the reason to suspend them like anybody else. And
yes.
Okay, one other quick question. You mentioned that, say, Midlothian has opted out, and we're the closest school. We're closer than Waxahachie or Mansfield. But you also said that student has an opportunity to come to Venus. But you also said that we do not have to accept them.
You do not have to accept them. That would be a choice that Mr. Gatewood and Mr. Gatewood would ultimately make that decision on if it was something that was going to be beneficial for Venus and our students or not.
Okay, would there be criteria set up? You reject them based on this?
Yes, sir. Obviously, there would be some criteria that was set up. I'll set some criteria up on that there because we don't want to just open it up and all the students from Midlothian are coming down here taking opportunities away from our students, sir. So we do have to look at that as a case-by-case basis.
just a clarification on Mr. Russell's question. I don't know how we would pick and choose. The criteria is you have to be passing, all the normal criteria. If they're in Midlothian, they don't have an option of going to Venus. They have to go to Venus if they're closer. If we're the closest district, that's the only option they have. If we accept transfers, they can't go beyond us. So they can't say, if Midlothian said no and Venus said no, then they could go to the next closest district, which would be whatever it is. So I just don't understand how we could take Susie Q, who is a straight A student and wants to participate in a theater department, UIL one act play or something like that, but we're not going to take little Joe over here who just happens to be 5'1" and wants to play football, but we are going to take 6'8" Kevin over here. How would we? I don't understand how you would justify if who we take and who we do, as long as there's a general criteria set. If they met the criteria, aren't we kind of stuck taking them? Not stuck isn't the bad word, but
I think it would be based on whatever the criteria is we come up with. That disciplinary actions of if they're coming from a school district, what kind of trouble did they get in there? What kind of student were they there? We can put that policy together. Now, anyone that falls under that policy, yes.
Yeah, my question is, there's a general criteria, and if they meet it, they're in. And if they don't meet it, they're not. So it doesn't matter if they're 5'1" or 6'8", male, female, whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't think we would discriminate against anybody for.
Well, they just said it's
like
a case by case basis. We don't have to take them. We would have to take them if they met all of our criteria.
Yeah.
I think we would be obligated to take them like we would everybody else. So.
The policy says may and not shall. So you may.
So.
Participate doesn't say that it doesn't say the district may allow. It doesn't say you have to allow.
Yes.
So it does leave the decision making up to us. And you're right to be consistent, but we're not obligated to. It says may, not shall.
But it would be more off of that policy versus.
My only concern in this is that our hometown student who's gone to school here all their life for 10 years, 11 years, a high school student, gets beat out on the football field by a naturally talented athlete from Midlothian or Alvarado, whoever. Yes, it will help the score possibly of the football team, but is that what we're looking for?
I think
Or do we
that's a
want to be
possibility.
true to our hometown parents and our hometown kids?
Well, I mean, that's a possibility for anybody. Somebody could move here and be, I mean, somebody could legitimately move here their first year, and that's always a possibility.
Or you can have teachers come in and bring their students. I mean, so it's the same difference. I mean, I don't think that having them not, we do have a lot of homeschool kids here in Venus. We do. And we see it all the time when the back to school bash comes out saying, well, why can't you put my kids from the homeschool into those to get the free supplies? We pay taxes too. So you can see both sides of the story. There are multiple kids that play up until 6th grade with our kids and then they don't, or they have to go play select with them. So could it hurt us on my kid? It could hurt my kid. I mean, it could. But it also could show them they have to go out there and actually work for it, and it doesn't just get to be falling in their lap.
Well, we were open enrollment for years, up until a few years ago, and that was even though they had to sit 365 to play, I don't remember even my whole coaching career, I don't remember. I mean, there's always somebody disgruntled. The backup quarterback is always gonna be a little bit upset, but I don't remember any big complaints over kids who moved into, we had 4 great years of baseball that we had about 8 kids that found their way to Venus, and everybody had something to say until we went 4 rounds deep in the playoffs, and then everybody went, oh, hey, all right, thanks for coming.
Because Keene has the same kind of stipulations. They're open enrollment, but you have to follow their guidelines, and Keene says we only want you if you play a sport. Like, you can go on there and you can be a great academic, but if you play a sport, you're most likely going to get in, not just be an academic.
Any other questions? No? Was anyone wanting to make a motion to go against it? No? Okay. So we will move to item number 18, consider approval of proposed changes to FM local.
Yes, ma'am. FM local outlines the district policy on student activities regarding absences. Right now, it's capped at 15 extracurricular absences per school year, but we're a small school district and we have students that play multiple sports. They exceed 15 extracurricular activities all the time. This is not putting a cap on it. That's what this policy is recommending.
And not put a cap on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody have any questions on that?
That could be a very abused policy. So we do have a small population, but we have kids that could leave for a whole number of reasons, training, et cetera. And once they get, the reason that was put in place as an old high school principal was that once they get to that 15 number of absences mark, it starts having an academic effect on them. So, and you can't say only if you're a straight A student you're allowed to go over your days. I mean, every year, you'd have that one kid who played every sport, but you're talking about 2 or 3 kids, maybe two or three kids a year. I don't know if it needs to be adjusted if it's only 1 or 2, 3 kids a year. So we're saying that the recommendation is to change that local policy to where there is no cap.
Yes, sir.
What are you recommending? You're recommending to go to no cap?
Yes, ma'am. Because we had UIL purposes.
Is it only UIL? So what if they're out 22 days with ag? You're out
No,
a week
ag
at a time.
does count. It's UIL, extracurricular, sir.
I mean, that's 8 shows at 6 days a show, plus their athletics. If they're also in athletics, they may not go to school at all for just throwing it out there.
Well, most ag students don't go. Most ag students don't go to every show, and if they do, they're the whole duration. Mainly if you're with heifers or steers is your longest. Your pigs are a day, your chickens are a day. You know,
Well, because you get 15 absences. All those people know that they have to bide their time because they're also a basketball player and a baseball player, et cetera. So
No, even when my kids did it, we only went to the shows that we actually were participating in because that's the only time you're there. I mean, that was our Mr. Smallwood. That he was like, "No, you're here. You're done."
But they would still have to be academic requirement. They would still have to be passing to go to any of those. So academics would have to pass first. We're not changing that, right?
That is correct, ma'am. You still have to meet the requirements of your academics and your 90% rule for attendance.
And on the ag piece, I mean, like Amber was saying, I would think it would be up to the teacher that you don't have a reason to be there for the cows if you're chickens.
Exactly. I mean, that needs to come back on our academic, our FFA sponsors.
In my professional career, I'm just repeating the problems that I saw.
Well, and it's not like Coach Gober's going to sit here and say, "Hey, we're going to do 5 tournaments, and you're going to miss a Wednesday, Thursday. You're off on Friday for five different weeks." So, I mean, the coaches and the UIL sponsors have to be diligent in making sure that that's how it's done.
I understand how it's supposed to work.
But on the other side of that, though, is if you've got that 15-day cap and you've got a student who is a straight A student and in all these things at 15 days, they can't do anything else. They
Unless they take the unexcused absence.
yeah, and then you're starting to get into truancy and stuff like that just for them to participate. So, I mean, it's a balance, but I would tend to agree that I would rather we look at them. I mean, they've got to pass academically, so that should be, to me, the driving factor, and saying, all right, you're going to all this stuff, you've missed all these days, you're not passing, you can't go to them now anyway. So, but holding them back because of that 15-day cap from doing things, I agree against, or I go against that.
I mean, so our grading policy is still going to stay the same. So if they miss something, then they have so many days to make it up, and then if they don't make it up, then they fail.
That is correct, ma'am. Grading policies are not changing.
Greg, did you have something?
Yeah, I was actually going to agree with Randall to some degree. This is not the first time we've dealt with this issue, and I think Randall was principal at least once when we did deal with it.
Deal with what specifically?
The days, because
Specifically because
it was because the we had students that were just getting where they were missing a month.
For what though?
And
What specifically?
well, it would be FFA, and then sports, and then you might be in
Classes?
what's that?
Were they passing their classes?
If they were going that many, they would have had to have been, if it was being properly.
I mean, I'm trying to vet out the concern, so just. So if they were passing their classes, meeting all the academic requirements, and they were still missing school, what is the concern? That's my question to, I mean, Mr. Beck, you did it, so what's the concern that we're trying to vet out? So if they are missing more than 15 days, but they still have to meet academic requirements, so they're still successful in their classroom, what are we trying to anticipate the concern being? I'm just asking.
For me, it's just there's the cap. That's a cap that's consistent for everybody. So, I mean, there's a 90-day. The state says you have to be at school 90% of the days. They say in their attendance policy, anybody who misses under 90% of the days are greatly or adversely affected. Their education is adversely affected. That's why they put the attendance policy in. We're allowing not only are we allowing their 10 absences or X number of absences per semester, but you're also allowing another 15 absences. That's on top of their general absences. So if they're taking, let's say there are 12 absences in the fall that they get just by the 90% rule, and they're also taking 11 absences academic or whatever you'll call it, UIL based or whatever it is, that's a lot of absences. That is negatively impacting their education, even if they are still passing their classes. So
But how?
You can't make a rule just for the kids who have straight A's. There are some kids who have a 71 who are going to fall right into this policy too.
But now, making it clear, I'll go with the recommendation, but I was just supporting that Randall Buck wasn't like out there by himself. This board has dealt with the same issue. Now, I don't remember all the details anymore. I just know that we've dealt with it. We've upped the days because I think at one point it was less and we went to 15 and we did this and that. We put the days to start with because of misses, and then we started upping how many days we miss. So, I mean, this has been ongoing as far as I'm concerned. We can say no limit, and if we come up with the issue, we'll go back and for the 18th time and turn it back down to 15 again or something. It doesn't matter.
I just caution against paving our future based on the sins of the past. You know, I mean, yes, there have been problems in the past. Does that mean there will be problems in the future?
No.
Doesn't mean there won't be either.
Not problems in the past. That's the whole point. The whole point is there haven't been problems in the past. It's a data-based system. The data doesn't show there's a problem. So if the data doesn't show there's a problem, what are we fixing?
Well, to me, the problem is that you've got kids that are having to stop doing something
Or
because
they're
of
having
that
to
cap.
take, or they're having to take unexcused
So
absences.
how many documented times of that do we have? I mean, I'm talking about in my whole time at the high school, there may have been 3. And
6
all-
shows last year.
Huh?
6 shows last year. That's just my personal
And
experience.
depending on if you're in Tyler, Houston, Austin.
But y'all just made the argument, how many kids go to, how many kids go to that many shows?
He's got heifers and steers, so I understand that. He's also got pigs. So I do know that in the past, in the last year, or even 2 years, when Colton was doing ag, they told you cannot do this and this at the same time. You can do steers or heifers, but you can't do pigs and chickens because you'll be out too much. So they are taking that into consideration when they're doing that. We also don't have very many sports that overlap. I think the ones that do overlap might be tennis, golf, and track.
Right.
I mean, so you're looking at those that might overlap, but half the school in the high school misses the last couple of months of school because of academic, or when it comes to UIL decathlons and just the different things that they go to for competition, plus softball, baseball, track, all of that.
No, not an argument, just sharing the point of view. So if we have a whole bunch of documented cases and the data shows that there needs to be a change to a local policy, not a procedure, a policy, then, but that's a superintendent recommendation, so.
Any other questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the changes to FM local.
Have a motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor? 5, 6. Opposed? Motion carries 6-1. Got item number 19. Consider approval of proposed changes to FNCE local.
Yes, ma'am. This was the policy we have to implement, the no cell phone policy by September 1st, even though we've already implemented that. This is from the state, just saying that students are not allowed to have communication devices in the school day during instructional time at all. We've already implemented, just that we have to adopt that policy by September 1st officially.
Any questions?
Actually, it's going pretty well, sir. I'm at the campuses all the time. I rarely ever see a student with a phone out. The only time I've seen a student with a phone out, they're hiding in the gym before school starts trying to get that last text message out. But I've been in and out of classrooms. I have not seen phones, and I've not seen them in the hallways at all.
They're not allowed to have them out during teaching time, right? Like in the classroom, but like between classes,
No, sir.
not at all?
Not at all. Not at all, sir. No, sir. The minute they step on the campuses, the instruction I gave the campus principals, cell phones are to be turned off and put in your book bag at that time.
Anything that connects to like a Wi-Fi, anything that's like internet based, so it's like phones, smartwatches, anything that like connects that way.
Yes, ma'am. We found a case at the high school. Kids are getting pretty slick. They're trying to bring Kindle Fires to school, saying it's just a reading device, but in fact, you can do WhatsApp chat on it and different stuff like that. So we went a step further. Says nope, that is a bona fide device that you can still communicate on. You can. Yes, and if you want to read books, you can do it with the device that we've issued you on campus.
Any other questions?
Does the school day end when they get on the bus?
School day ends, sir, at the, yes, sir, it ends at the dismissal time. So right after dismissal, students are allowed to take their cell phone out.
So when they get on the bus, they're legal?
Yes, sir, they can. Because the bill states during instruction time.
Any other questions? Nope. Do we have a motion? Number 19. You make a motion? Motion by Randall. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Amber. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item number 20, consider approval of proposed changes to EFB local.
So Senate Bill 13 was one of the things that is going into effect on September 1st, and our lawyers helped to update the EFB local to make our policies in compliance with that. I made a cute little, should I get my cute little, there we go, of course. And so, you were much better at those numbers earlier than I am, so I had to write them down. But the .21 just updated our standards and collection development policy. We are getting more guidance on that from the Texas State Library and Archives Commission by April. So ours have been tweaked a little bit. That was a big deal with House Bill 900 about 2 years ago. So ours went under a big overhaul just here recently. And then the 23 is parental access to the library catalog. We have had that available since we switched to an automated system for check-ins and check-outs. So that's a Connie Walker thing, whenever we did that forever ago. And it's there. I put a little screenshot of our thing in the little red circle. It's kind of small, but it's right there on our webpage. And then if you'll scroll down, this was new, and it was also covered in a couple other things. So like Senate Bill 12 also wanted just about parental access to what their kids are seeing. And y'all talked about that earlier when you were talking about giving parents rights to instructional materials and stuff. But how we are doing this is through our circulation program, Destiny. The parents, because their email addresses are already in there, they follow our link, which is available, and they put in their email address, which connects to the student, and then it gives them a passcode to log in, and then they have those 4 options. I'm so sorry, I did not realize how small it was going to be. They have the 4 options there on the side. Oh, there we go. I just have old lady eyes, sorry. So you can see what is checked out. That's that first little thing with the check on it. You can see the history, what they've had checked out in the past. You can see what is blocked, and then log out. And if you scroll this way, like I pulled up Harry Potter books because we're all pretty familiar with those. Can you see? So those little dots on the side, if a parent has decided, I don't want my kids reading Harry Potter, they just go click on those dots, which I know that's not a live link, it's just a picture, but they would click on those dots that Rosie is showing you, and they would block those books. So if you don't want your kid reading Twilight, you just boop, 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 and then, next year, okay, they're old enough, they can read Twilight, so boop, boop, boop. And so the parent has control over that, and they have control over what their kid, and so that would show a block. So if a kid brings the book up there to be checked out, it's gonna just show a parental block on that. So, and then 25 is about a local school library advisory committee. The way the law reads, it needs 10% of the population. You can have one, or you can wait and see if your people in your community want it. And so it's required if you have 10% of your population requesting it, or 50 parents. So we're going to be in the wait and see mode right now. Just honestly, sometimes it's challenging to get people to commit and stay. And this is going to be a committee that's going to have to do some real work. And so I don't want to go out and make a committee and torture people if that's not what they want. So we're just going to let sleeping dogs lie on that. And then 26, this affects you guys greatly, the acquisition of library materials. You guys, just like you approve textbooks, like the teachers may look at them and say, hey, we're recommending this one. Do y'all approve it? That's exactly what it's going to look like for libraries. We have a tab under the required postings area where I have already posted some books from Junior Library Guild. That's kind of a subscription service that we use. And then the requested books from Follett, our other main vendor. And so they're hot linked on there. That's what it looks like on the required postings page. And if you click on each of those, it takes you to a book list that you can read up on. You can see the reviews. We've been pretty transparent with it. I think all that's required is ISBN, title, and author, but we've left the review, if it's there, we've left the reviews and the information on there just to, if people want to know, we want you to know, like it's here. We're an open book. And so I tried to be real good, and if there are better ways that I can do this, please let me know. But when I put another one on there, I'll put the new date down below there, and I need to do some now too. And then once it's been 30 days, the next board meeting, you guys will approve those. Like okay, this look good. They've been posted. Nobody's commented on them. You gave good advice. We're gonna bless these, go forth in order.
Is that when we have to read them out loud?
And give a report.
Absolutely. There are book reports required. That's the next one down there. It fell off, that all board members are
No, I
doing
mean,
book reports.
in the Senate bill, I thought it said that the board has to announce them out loud at a board meeting.
No. I mean, you have to,
All
you do have to approve it. Like when we are, so this won't happen till, I think I have it ready to go for the September board meeting, because that'll be like the 16th or something. So y'all can bless these and say, yes, we approve these purchases.
I hope I hope that's right, because when I read it, I thought, man, how long is it going to take? I hope she's not acquiring a lot of books. We're going to read off every title in a board
Oh no. The elementary list is long. She's like, I want them on there. Like, let's go ahead and get these ordered. Okay, so, and then it updated the challenges, the .27, 027, updated the challenges or appeals. The major thing about that is previously, if a book was challenged, we did not restrict access to it. And now it's just the opposite. Now, if there is a concern enough to make a challenge on it, we're going to pull the books. Quite honestly, the books got pulled anyway because we had to all read them. And we didn't go buy more copies of it. We just read the ones we already had. But semantics, this is the way they want it worded now, and we are going to be compliant with that. We try to do a good job on our campuses and our libraries so we don't have problems like this. We really do try.
Anybody have any questions?
Oh, no questions.
No? No questions? Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Randall. Do we have a second? Second by Greg. All in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. Item 21, consider approval of resolution regarding Senate Bill 12 and parents' rights.
Yes, ma'am. This is a really big bill. It deals with a lot of diversity, equity, inclusion. It's currently, ACLU is actually suing about this here bill. So there's some more changes coming in October. Just some of the things that we have to take a look at and possibly put to approve. It's a parental rights bill. It emphasizes and reinforces the fundamental rights of parents to direct their children's education, moral and religious training, and consent to medical and psychological treatment. One of the biggest things that we have to be careful of is student clubs with this here particular bill. It requires that parental consent for students to join clubs and prohibits student clubs based on sexual orientation or gender identity, limiting staff involvement to supervisory roles without instructional content. So we have to go back, take a look at our clubs. If students are involved in those particular clubs, we now have to go and get permission for those students to be in those particular clubs. It's not like before a student comes up to you with a cool idea, you just form the club and the students attend the club. That's not how this particular bill works. So it's a lot of different things that goes on with this here bill, just the parental rights bill. One of the biggest things another one deals with diversity, equity, and inclusion. We cannot have groups based on that, with that particular, using those particular tags. So those things there do have to come out of our school with instruction and different things like that. We cannot cover those particular things in instruction. It bans those initiatives within schools. Districts, including influencing our hiring practices or promoting based on race, color. It bans us from doing those particular things. I don't think we do that anyway. We don't hire someone because they're Hispanic, African American, or Caucasian, but it's one of those things that stand now is against the law to do those things. Okay? It's a very lengthy bill, but it's one of the most controversial ones that is out there right now.
Anybody have any questions on that? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Randall. Do we have a second? Second by Amber. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item number 22. Consider naming loan finalists for position of superintendent. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve naming loan finalists for superintendent. Howard Gatewood. It doesn't say. Well, no, I'm just saying it doesn't.
I know it's not on here.
Okay,
sorry,
so
but yeah.
I make a motion to approve Howard Gatewood as naming him as the loan finalist for position of superintendent.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Amber, second by Greg. All in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Congratulations, Mr. Gatewood. Go to item number 23, reports.
Yes, ma'am. I'll go ahead and start out. First of all, I'm thrilled that we've had a fantastic start to the school year. The energy and enthusiasm has across all campuses has been truly inspiring. One of the biggest things that I noticed, the participation at the with the elementary and the primary schools. I'm telling you, I don't know if you had an opportunity to stop over there. It was backed out through the door, and I think that's to the positive start that's happened to the school year. Enrollment and growth. I tell you what, we are enrolling students left and right, so we're seeing that growth within our schools quite a bit. We're now sitting at, I believe, Deanne, correct me if I'm wrong, it was 2,162 students a day. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. The fall athletics are underway. We have our football, volleyball seasons, and cross country are actively going out there. It was great to see the volleyball team get out there on Friday and make their way to the finals. I don't know how did they do on Saturday or not? Did we? Okay, on a winning streak. Awesome.
They won them both on Saturday.
Awesome. So it was good to see the girls. I tell you what, they could have really put the hammer down against that team from Covington, but they pulled back a little bit and played some of their younger players, which was really nice of them instead of really just beat them out the gym. A special thank you goes out to the entire Venus ISD family. The success of our first few weeks is a direct result of the hard work and collaboration of all staff members, all community members. It's been nothing but love from the community. I haven't seen anything negative on Facebook. I even had to go out and get a Facebook page so I can see what's out there. That was something new for me. I just want to stay in tune with the community to what's going on, give people an opportunity to reach me at different type of ways they need to reach me, because I realize everybody don't email. There are some parents that may want to just contact me on Facebook. So I did create a Facebook page to just stay in contact with the community as much as possible. That is correct. Our football team did win their scrimmage, and they, I don't know if you were out there, I saw a lot more fight in those kids. I'm expecting just a little bit different outcome. I think we're going to surprise a few teams this year because we do throw the ball quite a bit. We don't just line up and just run it with 3 yards in a cloud of dust anymore. We do have that capability. I'm impressed by the offensive line. The offensive line walking through the hallways, they look like offensive linemen when you see them, and no one's playing both ways.
Did anybody have any questions on any of the reports? No? Go to item number 24, board requests for additional items. Did anybody have any requests for additional items? No? Okay, go ahead. Yeah, it is. Our next scheduled, we have a special meeting September the 9th at 5:30 p.m. 5:30. And then after that, our regular meeting will be September the 15th. We'll go to item number 25. If nobody else has anything, we will adjourn at 8:15 p.m.